Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Melissa and this is Melissa Knits for Fun. Well, as you can see, I have a finished object. I got the Links Pullover done. It is completely done and I have to tell a little bit on myself. I've shared before that I throw everything in the washing machine. I don't know what made me say, I'm just going to throw this in the washer. Normally what I'll do is the first time that I block it, I will do a hand wash and throw it in the washer to just spin out the water, and then I'll do a swatch to see how it's going to react if I throw it in the washing machine. Well, I did not do it this time, and I have to be honest, this part up here is just slightly felted. It's stiffer, but it's not smaller. So I will take some pictures and show y'all what this looks like wearing it. It really is beautiful and it fits just wonderfully. It is just so incredibly pretty. And honestly, this neck blocked out just beautifully. So as I said, this is a little bit stiff up here, but overall it is just beautiful. And this is the Links Pullover by Brae. And I knit this out of Drops Lima in the colorway Petrol and Ruby Wine. And I will tell you, this is the first time that I have done anything in Lima. I've done stuff in Flora, which is their fingering weight, and I have thrown that in the washing machine and I didn't have any adverse reactions. So I don't know if it's because it's a little bit thicker. I don't know what, but you know, for all of you out there who said that is going to come back and bite you in the behind, you putting things in the washer. Well, it almost did, because like I said, this is a little bit stiff up here, but it did not shrink it, and it still fits really, really well. It's just a little bit warmer in this area. I do think, though, I had another sweater that did this at one point, and over time of just working with it and de-pilling it as it was pilling, and then, you know, blocking it again and again, I was able to loosen it up. So I think that I will be able to loosen this up over time, but for right now it is what it is. And like I said, it fits me really well, so I'm not going to complain. This was the last test knit on my needles. And so far I have resisted. There have been several test knits that have come across my screen. A couple of men's test knits that looked really nice. One was a cabled sweater, but it was in pieces. I didn't really want to do that. There's been a few secret test knits for Line of Magazine test that also looked interesting. But so far I have resisted them all. I really want to take a break. I'm really enjoying not having to focus on getting something done on a deadline. And having said that, it has really opened me up to be able to work on several things. And I have got one project that is almost over the finish line. It will be done. If not tonight, it will be tomorrow at the very latest that I will have it done. I have another one that I should have done next week as well. And then I have another frogging situation with that same blanket. This blanket is going to be the death of me. But let me kick it off with talking about what I have been working on this week. And y'all will be glad to know the little sweater has no longer sat over on the couch and glared at me and asked me why I was not working on it. I have been working on my Wintersoul. And as you can see, this is the one that will be done either tonight or tomorrow. I have one more section of color work on this side. I'm about to start this little section right here. I will do this section. I will do this section again, and then I will do the ribbing, and this is what it will look like. Guys, I have to tell y'all a little story about this and about Dorothy. This is the Wintersoul by Adorable Knits, or Dorothy Officeers. And I have to tell you that there are things in my book that make a designer great versus good. And part of that is responsiveness and help. I've had designers where I'm knitting away, I run into a problem, I can't figure out a part of their pattern, and I either make a comment on Ravelry or I go and I submit the question the way that it tells you to, email here for help or whatever. And You can see I haven't sewn in my ends yet. But I'll never hear anything back. And I'm just left to struggle and try to figure this out on my own. Typically, I'm able to do that, but it's a little irritating. Well, with this one, with the Wintersoul, I'm in a knit along. And so when I picked up the stitches for this sleeve, how it is written is, depending on which sleeve it is, depends on where the beginning of the round marker is, because there is a little bit of a jog in the color work. And I'm trying to see if you can even see it. Not really, but this is the back. And so, no, this is the front. Would help if I looked, yeah, you can kind of see the jog back here, because this is the right sleeve, is how I know that this is the back. And you can tell when you hold it up because of the shaping back here. But there's a little bit of a color jog right here. Well, I was so confused because when you split for sleeves, it tells you to move your raglan stitch markers over with the sleeve stitches. Well, I use stitch markers to manage my repeats of the color work. So I just went ahead and slipped those over as well. So when I went to do the color work, the first row of the color work on the sleeve, it didn't line up correctly. And I thought I needed to still be in that. It's a 12 stitch repeat. So I thought I still needed to be in there. And so things weren't lining up right. And I was doing some stuff and it looked kind of weird. I'll show you the picture. I got a picture because I circled it. And I put out a thing in the chat of the cowl and I said, hey, has anybody run into this problem? This is the size I'm making. I'm making the extra large. And I need a little bit of help. This isn't making sense to me. One person responded and said, oh yeah, I moved my beginning of the round to the middle of the underarm so that you didn't see the jog at all. I'll tell you, I don't see the color jog, so it's not bothering me a bit. But she said, you know, I put it on the underarm and then I had to figure out where everything lined up. Well, I decided I would just go ahead and do what I thought I needed to do, but it was making this really kind of weird color work. It wasn't just a jog. It was like things didn't look right. And so I decided the next day, I went ahead and continued, right? And I'd done this entire section here, and I'd done this, and I think I was halfway done with this part. So I'd done quite a bit. And Dorothy answered and was like, oh my gosh, let me grab my laptop. Let me look at this. And she sent me, you know, she asked me to send her a picture and all of this. So we wound up in a DM together on Instagram. And she sat there and she helped me. We could not figure out because she was like, I don't know what markers you're talking about. Finally, we came to, I had moved those and she had not accounted for that, right? Because that's not something that she said you needed to do. All of that, this was a me problem, guys. I had moved over stitch markers that I didn't need to move over stitch markers. If I had done what I tell other people to do, which is trust the process, follow the pattern exactly, everything would have lined up. If I had just said, I'm not worried about those stitch markers, and if I need to put them somewhere else, I'll just put them somewhere else. Instead of, in my mind, I needed to have those stitch markers, you know, it was all right. And she took so much time to help me figure this out. Never, ever did she make me feel like that I had wasted her time. She never made me feel like that I was, you know, stupid because I couldn't figure it out. She was so gracious and kind. And that's what makes a designer great, right? They are there to help. And she was like, but this is my job. This is part of my job as a designer. And not every designer thinks that way. So I have to give her a huge shout out, because it was such a wonderful experience. I will definitely be knitting more of her patterns. I mean, she's got some beautiful patterns. This is the first one, so this is like my gateway into her patterns. She's got some other ones. There is one I want to test knit when it comes out, and I will apply for it. Whether I get it or not, I'll wind up buying it if I don't get the test knit, and then I will make it later. And then I want to get her Grace V-neck and make that. She's just got some really beautiful patterns. And like I said, this is my gateway into her designs. And I will, in fact, be done with this within the next 24 hours because I have just such a little bit to do. I have that color work, and then I have 16 rows of the hem or the cuff. And this one, there is no shaping, so it is a larger sleeve, and I think I'm going to like that. And this one, I am not just going to throw in the washing machine. I am going to follow the instructions. I'm going to do it like the label says, and then I will throw it in to get the water out because it does say that you should do that. All right, this is knit out of Drops Air, and this is Pearl Gray and Anthracite, which is a super dark charcoal gray. This is not black. And I do have a couple more colors, at least 2 more that I want to do. I won't start them right away because I have other things that I would like to do, but this is definitely going to go on the list of knitting more than one and being a repeat knit. And if you've followed me for very long, you know that that is pretty special. I don't repeat knit very many patterns. All right. She will be done next week, and I will be wearing her in the next episode. All right. Now, the other thing that I've been working on, because honestly, other than this and the Wintersoul, the only other sweater that I've worked on at all has been my Zuri Sweater by Tox Knits. And I will say, I have said the last 2 episodes, oh, the cardigan is free. It was free for a while. It apparently is no longer free. So I do apologize for telling y'all to go get the pattern because it was free. But they are all beautiful. And guys, it is worth buying the pattern. It is well written. It is easy to follow. And it's just a beautiful design. As you can see, I have 1 sleeve completed. And I had this done last week. And this week, I've got that much of the sleeve completed. I just completed row 40. I've got 105 rows before I start the cabling down here. So I've got about 65 rows to go. As soon as I get the Wintersoul off, this will go quickly, and then I will turn my attention to the body, and I will get this done probably within a couple of weeks. I suspect it will not be done next week because I also have a little blanket fiasco that I've got to deal with as well. But this is, again, the Zuri Sweater by Tox Knits. And she does have a t-shirt and a cardigan as well in this. And I just love the cabling in the raglan and then the cabling at the bottom, at the cuffs and the hem. I just think that it's that little detail that just makes it a little special. It's a little bit more than just a plain raglan. And this is knit out of one of my very favorite combinations. This is the Knitting for Olive Merino and Soft Silk Mohair held together. And the colorway for both of these is Blue Tit. It is right now my favorite, but I have seen some of the new colors that I want to get my hands on that might be even nicer than this one. The peacock looks really, really nice. But for now, Blue Tit is my favorite, even better than Pink Daisies, and I love pink. So that is where I'm at on that. That will become let me move all of this yarn I've got over here. This will become one of my primary focuses this week. And the other thing, I want to get the Rouge sweater done. That's the other color work, the Mystery Yoke Along. I just haven't worked on it at all, so I didn't see any reason to bring it in here to talk about because it has sat in its project bag and I haven't touched it. So there's really nothing to say about it other than it's a beautiful pattern. I see the people in the knit along that are posting all of their pictures, and they are stunning and they are beautiful, and I can't wait until mine looks like that. Hopefully next week I will have an update on that sweater. And then to my sad, sad, sad little blanket. I told y'all last week that I had found the pattern, and I did. I mean, look at this. Isn't that beautiful? I've got 2 full rows here. It is absolutely stunning. Well, here's the problem. I switched from a worsted weight to a DK, which wouldn't have been that big of a deal, except for I also decided instead of doing the 2nd size, I wanted to do the 3rd size. Well, that takes more yarn. I only have 3 balls of this. I am almost done with this. I can't do another complete row. And so I went, excuse me, and I measured it, and I was like, okay, so this will be like 30 inches wide and 12 inches tall. No, that's not a blanket if I go this route. So I can't do that. So then I decided, okay, maybe what I should do is I should do a striped version. So that's where this blue came in, because I also have 3 balls of this color, which is stunning. This is a beautiful color as well. And I thought, well, I could just stripe it, but I'm not loving how that's looking. I mean, even just having that there, I just don't think so. So I broke down. This is the Brae Winds blanket by Lily something. Lily Lake, maybe. Of course, I'll put the information down here like I always do. But I love this pattern, and I am determined that this is going to be the blanket that I do make. But I'm going to make the second size, and I decided, you know, I just went ahead and did what I should have done to begin with. The recommended yarn is Line Brand Pound of Love. It's a great blanket yarn. I like Line Brand Pound of Love. I've done several baby blankets in it. Yes, it's acrylic, but it's perfect because you can wash it and dry it, and it holds up well, and it's just fabulous. I should have just bought a ball of Line Brand Pound of Love. It takes one ball to do the second size. One. That's it. I should have just ordered it. I don't know why I didn't. Well, I do know why I didn't. I wanted to use my stash yarn. Well, instead, I'm just going to rip this out. I'm going to frog this blanket. So this will be the second blanket that I'm frogging. And, well, actually, it's this blanket twice, maybe? No. Well, yes, because I did actually have to take this out because I didn't like the fabric. So this will be the third time of frogging this and starting over, but this time will be it because the yarn is supposed to come in tomorrow. I got it. I got another thing of fisherman's wool. I've got 3 skeins of it, but for the sweater that I picked out for it, I actually need a 4th skein, so I grabbed a skein of that. And then I had sold a ball of Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair in the colorway Bordeaux to one of the ladies at the yarn shop because Letha did not have any left at all. And so I had some at home that I wasn't planning to use right away, so I sold her that, so I went ahead and replaced that. I got all this at Wool & Company. It'll be here tomorrow, so I'll show it next week. But my plan is I'm going to rip this out. I'm going to repurpose this yarn. I'm going to make something baby. I'm probably going to make a little boy sweater out of this, like a little cabled sweater or something. And then I'll make a little dress out of this, maybe a couple depending on the size, because these are just too beautiful to let go to waste. So I'm going to repurpose those because I am going to get smart and I'm going to make some of the baby stuff to where that when people have babies, I can just go in there and grab and send it off, and not have to frantically try to get things done before the baby's due or before the baby gets too old to wear it. So that is the plan for this yarn. I do really like it, but I'm just not convinced that I love striping it. Let me know if y'all think differently. I will wait to rip this out for a few days just to see, and we will see what happens there. All right, and then one thing that I did not mention at the beginning that I should have, so I hope that people are still watching, is guys, there's going to be a giveaway. I am at 1,500 and 50, almost 1,600, I think, subscribers. And I said that I would do a giveaway, another giveaway at 1,500. So thank you to everybody who has joined my channel. And so we're going to do a giveaway. It's going to work just like it did last time. This is going to be a Ravelry pattern up to $10 US. It's just the easiest thing to do because that way you can be anywhere in the world and I can gift you a pattern. What I need you to do is I need you to make a comment that tells me what pattern you want and what your Ravelry name is. If you are interested in getting a pattern and being part of the giveaway, please make sure that you put on there make sure that it says Ravelry somewhere, so Ravelry name and a pattern name so that I will know. I will announce this. I will leave it open for an entire week. I record on Wednesday and I put it out on Saturday, so I will leave it open until the next Saturday, so it won't be in my channel or in my episode who won that next week. But what I will do is I will announce it on the community page, and I will tag the person that wins, and then it will also just go to their Ravelry account. It will just show up. You'll get a message that says you were sent a pattern by Melissa McCall. If you do not have a Ravelry user ID, if you don't have a Ravelry account and you're not interested in having a Ravelry account, put something in there, say, I don't have a Ravelry account, where that Ravelry is in there, because that's what I'm going to use for the random picker. I am going to use the word Ravelry. And so put in there, I don't have a Ravelry account, and then email me. My email will be in the details, and it is melissanitsforfun@gmail.com. And then you email me, and we will work out, if you win, how to get you a pattern. We'll figure it out, right? There are ways to do this if I have to email a designer for their webpage or whatever. But we'll make it happen. But if you do have a Ravelry user account, just put your Ravelry user account name and what pattern you want. It makes it just easy peasy lemon squeezy for me. I just go in and I say, I want to gift this pattern. I put your information in and I pay for it, and it magically goes to you. It shows up in your library and it says, hey, you have a free pattern. Yay. And so that is what we will do. And as I said, up to $10 US. So there's a lot of patterns out there for you to pick from. And I have to tell you, the last time, I have so many new patterns that are on my radar just hearing what everybody wanted. So I'm really excited now that we have even more people here. I'm hoping to find even more ideas for new things to knit. And who knows, maybe some new designers as well. All right, guys. I have come to the end of my updates. This one again is short and sweet this week. And that is really all I have to say. Nothing exciting has happened this week, except for I did have a little something. I don't really want to talk about it right now because I don't want to jinx things, but there are some good things happening. Hopefully there will be an announcement about a new direction that I'm going in as far as a job, maybe. I've told y'all I'm on a contract I'm really hoping to convert and stuff, and I think there's conversations happening. I just don't want to jinx things. So nothing really exciting has happened this week. I've just been sitting around knitting. As you can tell, I knitted a lot. I've been in, on sleeves, and it has not bothered me. Those sleeves on the Wintersoul, they are kind of fun to knit. So no problem for me knitting sleeves. I knit the sleeves on this, I knit the sleeves on the Wintersoul, and I'm knitting the sleeves on the Zuri Sweater. So I am knocking out my arch enemy because I do not like knitting sleeves. So I will get those done, and then I will be able to just do the body and then pull some other things in. I am going to try to get more things off of my needles and finish up some things, because I've also got the Edinburgh sweater I've been working on. Very little, but I have been working on it, and I'm doing a blog for it. And so that's why I'm not showing it here. Dana's kicking my butt as far as our buddy knit. She is so much further along. She's already doing a sleeve. I haven't even finished the color work yet. And so I'm going to try to get more things off my needles before I cast anything else on. We shall see how long that lasts, because I do have cast-on-itis. I really want to cast some more things on. But I do feel like that I need to complete some things. All right. And with that, guys, I am trying to record, and I've tried several times now. It just has not come out right, but I'm trying to record a video about how to substitute yarns and what you need to know, because it's not quite as easy as just saying, hey, both of these are DK, so I can just sub them out. There are other things that go along with that, and a lot of that has to do with knowing how to read a ball band. So I am still working on trying to get that to where I don't sound just like a rambling idiot, and hopefully I will get that done within the next couple of weeks, and I'll have a special not podcast episode, but a special episode like I've had about my yarn rankings and where I buy my yarns. All right, so be on the lookout for that. And with that, I will see y'all next week, hopefully with some baby blanket done and with a couple of finished items. All right, drop me a line, guys. Let me know what pattern y'all want for the giveaway. And I would love to hear about what you were knitting on while you were watching. I will see y'all next week. Have a wonderful knitty week.